Our next insightful presentation is by Dr. Scott Baird. Dr. Baird, founder of Griffin Hill, received his PhD in instructional psychology and technology from Brigham Young University. He brings 30 years of business performance research and consulting to Griffin Hill and their clients. His innovations in human and organizational performance constitute a new technology that elevates performance on a sustained basis. Griffin Hill clients across industries such as technology, financial services, manufacturing, and business development experience significant increases in productivity and revenues. Welcome to the Sales Acceleration Summit, Dr. Baird.
Griffin Hill is the human and organizational performance company. We help our clients increase top-line revenue. It's what we've been doing for 30 years. A client recently approached me and said, Dr. Baird, you've changed the way we think. You've changed the way we speak. You've changed the way we behave. You've changed our very lives. And in fact, in the first 6 years of our business life, we closed 160 new business clients. But in the last 5 months since we engaged Griffin Hill, we've closed more than 600 new clients. Well, that's the power of what we do at Griffin Hill. As a performance-based, as a research-based performance company, we know that there are two essential elements to success in sales. One of those is your will to succeed. The second is a system. Hello, my name is Scott Baird. I'm the founder of Griffin Hill and the author of the Griffin Hill Integrity Sales System. The Griffin Hill Integrity Sales System is exactly the system that you will want to utilize to succeed, as long as you've got the right will to succeed. So, you first of all use your will to work hard. And you also must use your will to work smart. It's not enough to work hard. There are a lot of people who work hard every day, but they work hard at the wrong things. Let me give you one example. I showed up at a brand new client's office. It was 7 o'clock in the morning. I was there to meet with the general manager. As we got ready for our meeting, I noticed that the salespeople in that organization were already present. It was 7 o'clock in the morning. Most of them had at least 1 hour commute in order to get to the office. By the end of the day, as I was wrapping up meetings that I'd been there for all day long, it was about 7 p.m. in the evening as I was getting ready to go to dinner with the general manager. The sales staff was all still in the office. They were working very hard. But they weren't working very productively. They weren't reaching the number of closes they should reach. So we did a quick analysis using the Griffin Hill metrics, and what we discovered is that they were working at about the range of 10% of their productive capacity. By helping them to refocus their energies, we help them to work smarter. That's the power of a system. As a result, they were able to shorten their sales cycle from 18 months to under 4 months. Just think of the power of shortening your sales cycle. As long as you've got the will to succeed and you demonstrate that will to succeed by working hard, we can help you to work smart using the Griffin Hill Integrity Sales System. That Griffin Hill Integrity Sales System is made up of 4 key elements. They are process, plays, metrics, and coaching. Now you're going to want to pay attention to this because all 4 of these elements are required for any system for human performance and human productivity. First of all, a process gives us a roadmap. It tells us which direction to go. One of our clients was a milk company. They milked cows and delivered the milk to the door every day. When the milk delivery was done about mid-morning, 9 o'clock or so, then the salespeople would climb in those trucks and go sell. This is what we discovered, however, about those milk people. The milk production company was at the end of a long lane. Those salespeople would get in the truck and drive to the end of the lane, and when they reached that intersection, they would make the decision of, do I turn right or left? That's not very forward thinking, and it indicates the lack of a process, a lack of a knowledge of where to go. Plays are what to do. If process tells us where to go, when we get there, plays tell us what to do, and they stack the odds of success of the accomplishment in our favor. Metrics measure whether we're really doing that or not. They tell us if a play is doing its job or not. And then, of course, coaching, feedback from an expert is the way we get the job done. Well, coaching from an expert is readily available. The evidence of the power of that is readily available to us from all of sports. Just think about who won the NBA championship or who won the NFL championship. If you'll think about those teams and then just imagine that they had access to the coaches and coaching all the way through preseason. But when the season really began, those full-time coaches were taken off the sidelines. What would have happened to the performance of those teams come game time? How would they have performed? What would their win-loss record have been? Would they have even made the playoffs? Mostly not. Using statistics to help us to guide our performance, to make adjustments, are the key to making sure that we get continuous improvement, not just one-time improvement or hitting a plateau early on, but rather continuous improvement. Finally, plays stack the odds of success in our favor just like they do for an athletic team. Well, when we go back to process is the simplest way to parse the problem of how do you get a sale. Parsimony counts. This is where elegance wins the day. The process in the Griffin Hill Integrity Sales System is 6 easy steps. Case open, needs audit, solution presentation, adapted solution, closing interaction, and fulfillment and follow-up. Those 6 steps mark the steps of process. The very first thing that we have to do in the Griffin Hill Integrity Sales System, or any system of sales, is to engage the suspect. I say suspect because we only suspect that they would want to be a client. We suspect that they need or want what we have available to sell. But when we engage that case open routine, the case open routine turns suspects into prospects because it does one thing. It qualifies them for interest. Getting a sale is the progressive qualification of a suspect or prospect. The very first thing we qualify for is interest. Once we've stimulated interest and qualified them for it, then we can go to the needs audit where we qualify for need, want, decision-making, and ability to pay. Then we're finally prepared to present a solution that will be engaging and meaningful and will help win the day. This adapted solution and closing interaction are the accordion of the system. They can expand or contract depending on the need of the given sales process. If it's very simple, we may not need them. But if it's complex or we run into a snag, then we're definitely going to use adapted solution and closing interaction. Fulfillment and follow-up is where we expand our pipeline by magnitudes, by filling our pipeline with brand new qualified referrals. Well, there's the process. Case open, needs audit, solution presentation, adapted solution, closing interaction, and fulfillment and follow-up. Plays now are associated with each stage of the process. At that stage of the process, what are the things that we can say or do that stack the odds of success in our favor? It turns out that statistically, words matter. Let me share with you one little bit of evidence that words matter. Here's the research study. A group of people brought in, shown the same videotape of an automobile accident, and then broke into different categories. In group number 1, the people in that group were asked this question: how fast were those two cars going when they bumped into one another? Group 2, the participants in that group were asked this question: how fast were those two cars going when they hit into one another? And in group 3, they were asked this question: how fast were those two cars going when they smashed into one another? Predictably, estimates of speed from group 1 to group 3 elevate. The words we use matter, and that's what plays are all about. It's not just a matter of tips and tricks that get you by. It's a systematic way to utilize plays that stack the odds of success in our favor. At each stage of the sales process, the case open, needs audit, solution presentation, adapted solution, closing interaction, and fulfillment and follow-up. Now, you might have selected a play with great hopes that it was going to do its job for you, but it's important for us to measure whether or not that play is really doing its job, because we might engage in self-deception, and self-deception always leads to self-destruction. If we think that play is doing its job, but we're not measuring to test to find out, then we might believe it's doing its job and it's not at all, and yet we persist in using that play, and we get no value out of it whatsoever. We're wasting time and energy. Finally, this notion of feedback from an expert. Our coaches are experts in the use of the Griffin Hill Integrity Sales System, and they know how to help you shorten the runway so that you can get up to speed and get performing rapidly. And then they elevate every aspect of your sales performance and your sales results. There's the system. You've got to have a will to succeed. You've got to use that will to succeed to work hard. But you've got to know where you're going and what to do when you get there. And you've got to know that it's proven and tested and that it will do its job for you. And it's very wonderful to have the guidance of an expert to help you through that process. There's the system. Use your will to succeed to choose a system. Now, if you don't have a will, if you're exhausted and burned out, and rejection has taken its toll on you, as it often does in sales, that's where part of our coaching rotation comes into play. One of the rotation elements in every coaching rotation is the theory of human performance. We're going to make an offer to you today, a very special offer, that if you have a weakened will, if you feel beaten down, if you feel the need to be strengthened so that you can move forward, you can get a free Theory Day discussion from Griffin Hill called Strengthen a Weakened Will. You'll be able to get that from griffinhill.com, and we'll post that for a limited amount of time. For the next 3 days, that will be up on the Griffin Hill blog site, but only accessible to you for the next 3 days. Go access griffinhill.com, click on the blogs, and then get How to Strengthen a Weakened Will. It will help you to be a better performer. It will help you with that problem number 1, the will to succeed. And once you've got the will to succeed, we've got the system that will help you to get there. May you prosper and have all the success you deserve.